Happy Friday, everybody. Oh, man.
Happy Friday.
Boy, do we have a delightful surprise for everyone today on this episode of Riff and Refine. We have Rob Hope with us.
The
Hello,
And
Rob Hope.
everyone.
the Rob Hope. And I did not mess up the intro. I did not have food in my mouth, and I did not start muted. So
You've
we're
come a
starting
long
to
way.
we're starting to figure this thing out. Absolutely. All right. Josh, why don't you give an intro about Rob real quick?
Yeah, Rob. I'm going off script too. Rob actually is an incredible guest. So if you want Rob on your podcast or your show, be sure to reach out because he sent us like this Notion document of like, hey,
Oh,
here's everything about Rob. Here's everything about like great topics and stuff like that. And I already had topics in mind, but then I saw what Rob had put out, and so I was like, oh yeah, it flows right along with what we were hoping to have Rob on. I actually found Rob about 6 years ago, based off of One Page Love, and then turned into Landing Page Hot Tips. And he was the creator of both of those and kind of has been an expert in the landing page scene, eventually transitioned that and has been building in public of talking about how he went from like freelancing into full-time working for himself with this whole landing page hot tips and now a full course called Show Them. So I'm super excited because I'm a huge fan of Rob. But yeah, thanks so much for joining us today, Rob. You actually reached out with John last week or 2 weeks ago, and you're like, hey, I'd love to join. You came into the chat and I was a little starstruck. But how did I do? How was that intro? What would you say about yourself?
Wow, that was very flattering. But if I'm gonna go off script as well. A lot of people describe me as thorough, and
Okay.
yeah, it's just I've been in some interviews where it's just had little structure and so on, and I want to riff, like you guys. I want to get into it.
Yeah.
And so now, before I sort of go on any show, I just hand over this Notion doc, and I'm like, guys, this is what I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
Like, this is juicy. This is what I've done. Here's a timeline, et cetera, et cetera. Here are my links. So it just allows the host to just get straight into like creating questions instead of them actually doing research. Having done a podcast,
Yes. Yeah.
research is long, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, here are my most recent interviews. Tuck in.
I think you've even
for-
mentioned that on you had the Yo podcast, and that was something that you kind of dedicated most of your time to for the longest time. And you kind of mentioned like we're jumping right into it, and we'll get into a segment first. But you kind of mentioned that it was the prep work for that kind of made you like, okay, hey, I want to slowly start to phase that out in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah, exactly that. Just start with the best way possible. So, what's everyone been up to? I'm just going to take over this podcast. How was your last
Do
week,
it.
guys?
Oh,
Do it.
dude.
Yeah.
All right. I'll be happy to jump in. So
You know the
yeah,
podcast better than us. There we go.
this last week,
classic.
I have been practicing my Laracon talk, which is next week. I've practiced it, about 10 to 20 times, and I plan to practice about 100 more before I speak on Tuesday. I've got like the Tuesday afternoon, like the second day afternoon slot. It's a 2-day conference, and I've got like the afternoon slot on the second day, which is like potentially like, oh man, like everybody's tired of listening to talks at this point. Like we're all burnt out. So I'm like, man, I got to come in with some energy and get everybody
Yeah.
like hyped up again. So I've been like thinking of ways that I can get the crowd involved with my talk a little bit more and get everybody kind of woken up for it. So that's been a big part of my week. The other part is, how last week we talked about like trying to figure out like things that we're good at,
Yeah.
and like figuring out like our place and all that kind of stuff. I had one of them kind of click in this last week. So
Okay.
at the new company, we have like a completely new like stack, language stack that I'm like working in. It's got like the familiar React side of things, but now I have to learn like Go for like back-endy type stuff. And I've written Go for approximately 2 weeks. And
You're in love.
I don't know if I'd say I'm in love. I don't really care about Go, but it's like I've been able to like consistently continue to ship at the same speed Part of that is because of like Cursor and AI, but I think the other piece of it is that I I think I have like started to identify like something that I feel I'm good at, which is like jumping into new systems and like very quickly being able to understand how a system like works together, because I notice like when talking with my other teammates who started at the same time, I'm already able to answer questions that they're starting to have about how to like approach solutions in the code base. I'm very quickly able to say like, oh, like this is how they do it, this is like the approach, this is where you put the different things and how it all kind of wires up together. So like this, and I think part of that comes because like I come from like a design background. I'm like
Yeah.
design and engineer, and like one big portion of design is like you can't really design something well until you understand how everything works together. So it's like I've just been trained to like think from that perspective. So like that was like a really fun thing that I started kind of like realizing about myself kind of this last week.
Nice. Hey, I'll jump in and let our guest close it up. But last week I has mostly just been prepping for Laracon, at least with my day job with Laravel, because it's us preparing for everything. You know, last minute changes, last minute
This
tweaks.
is like y'all Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, this is the big kahuna kind of thing. I am in charge of like the content and press room. It's going to be fun for me because we basically I'm bringing actually this camera that you're seeing right now. I'm bringing that first time flying with something, so I'm
Whoa.
a little hesitant on that. But I'm bringing that. Where Chris Sev, my boss, is bringing lights. We got some microphones. We're renting some stuff, and I'm just basically making a content room so we can have speakers film some stuff. We can have partners film some stuff. We can have ourselves film some stuff after we announce things. So I'm excited for that because I get to kind of put the whole setup piece is actually one of the things that I really like. It's one of the reasons why a lot of my setup changes every week because I like the tweaking and this light is just a centimeter this way. Yeah, exactly. And so I love that. So I'm excited to get it set up from scratch because that's and we have a day to do it. So how good can we make it in a day? That would be with limited stuff. But yeah, that was my past week. That's been all my attention. What about you, Rob? What has been on your mind the last week? What have you been up to?
Two things. I quit gym.
Okay.
None of it. I get the notifications. You haven't been in enough times to get your discount. Exercise? Yeah, just like for exercise down the road. It's like I live by a mountain in the sea, and it's like I go to the gym because it's like I'm part of a rewards program, and if I swipe this X, and I've taken a stand this week, and I just said I'm taking it all back. I'm getting no more emails. I'm getting no more notifications. I'm not swiping any more cards. I'm done, dude. I'm gonna take all that cognitive overload, and it's now mine for something else. So that's what I did this week, and it feels amazing. Obviously, there's incredible pros to going to gym if that's for you.
Yeah.
But I'm just not a gym guy, dude. So that's we acknowledge that. But yeah, this week, guys, I had design flow. And I haven't had design flow in months, dude. Months. And it's like, honestly, like proper flow, like last 3 hours in a blink.
I love it.
Just
listen to the same song 12 times in a row.
Yeah.
That's the Aaron Francis special. I think his post went on Twitter.
He just had one yesterday where he said the same thing. Yeah, he's like found a new one, and it's just the same song.
Emma says because he quit the gym.
Quit the gym.
That's exactly why. That's so good. That's so good.
Oh man, yeah. No. The thing about design is that it's like it's very hot or cold. Like you're either like, man, everything sucks, I can't figure this out, or it's like, like angels, like the beams from heaven, and everything's perfect. I'm never find myself in between.
It's I don't know, man. I'm at war. I always use the word war. It's a bit insensitive, but I'm at war internally, just with design, because it's like, it's honestly exactly what you said. It's meme level. It's like, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate. Ooh, you know, like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's something there, dude. There's something there. All of a sudden, like turn
Yes.
up the music just a bit, and like, okay, let's go there.
Yeah.
This it's a messy process, but honestly, like, I haven't actually created something in a long time that I've been really stoked on.
Now I want to know
If-
what you were working on today. Is it a secret? Does it need to stay under wraps, or can we tease a little bit about
It's
it?
let's just say it's my birthday next Friday,
Okay.
and I'm hoping to announce this thing next Friday. Like I kind of have done this in the
All right,
past where I like
wait.
using my birthday as a double like work
Yeah,
birthday thing.
yeah.
I love
I
it.
want to tell you. I'm teasing. It's to do with video. Oof, nah.
No
let's
worries.
just leave it
No
there.
worries.
No, you
Yeah.
don't-
We'll wait.
Leave
Don't
it for
ruin
your birthday.
lunch.
That'll be a
We've got
birthday
plenty to
special.
talk about. We got plenty.
Next Friday.
And we'll check in for sure. I don't know. I still know if we're doing a show next Friday, but then we'll just leave that segment open, leave that time slot open
yeah.
for we'll
We're
just
definitely gonna
retweet
talk
anything you
about it.
tweet.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool.
Appreciate
cool,
it.
Cool. Cool. All right. So let's jump on in. We got some topics. We got some links.
Yeah.
What you want to talk about, Rob?
So we could go many ways. I really listened to your guys' episode last week. There was so much good stuff there. That not monetizing the thing you truly love. Like I could speak about that for hours and hours and hours. I feel like you've covered it really well, but that's always something I'm interested in, and my mind always changes.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm always trying to extract other people's points of view and just sit on
Right.
them a little bit. So thank you for that. I want to speak about something like totally just left field here. Is that
Let's do it.
I
I like
have
it.
a surfboard. I have a surfboard,
Okay.
and it's sort of being handed down to me, and it's a classic. It's a single fin. It's from way back in the day. I think the 70s, and it's called a Whitmore Magnum. So John Whitmore was a guy in South Africa, and he made this board. So it's been handed down, and it's so massive, dude. Honestly, this fin, like it's so big, dude. It's really difficult to put in this office, but I really want to. but the question to you guys is that do we pay homage to these icons and legends and creators by admiring their work or using the thing till it's dead? Surf
that's a
that
good
thing till
topic.
it's broken into pieces, or just admire the art by like just staring at it.
Oh, I've got immediately my answer to this for sure.
Really?
go. Kick it off.
Immediately.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Okay, so the thing is that like yes, when you get something really nice, you want to treasure it. You absolutely want to treasure it. That is everyone's instinct. But like if you don't use it, what's the point? Like I think that is 100%. Like if I make a website for a purpose, like if I just made a showcase, then like sure, like admire it, tell me how good it is, and I'll feel happy because you looked at it. But like if I'm like making like a product, it doesn't matter how good it looks if nobody uses it. You know, like
Okay.
I may have the nicest looking landing page, but if nobody is entering their email address to sign up, then like the product is not successful. And I feel like it's the same thing. I went to school for industrial design, and like, oh man, just like the amount of it's, I think this is with like every craft in interior to the craft. There are people who care about like how something like looks, the form of something over the function of something, is how people a lot of times phrase it. But I am a hard sell on the function matters more than the form, in the sense that like doesn't matter how nice something looks if nobody's using it, and everything that looks nice looks better like well used. You know, like
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want something pristine. Like I want a baseball bat where the handle is like worn out because somebody's been out swinging, like hundreds of bats a week or more. Like I want something that is clearly loved, because that to me is like a lot more meaningful than just like, wow, look at this Pokemon card that I purchased and never touched again. You know, like
We
okay,
went there.
cool. Like cool,
Okay,
you got a piece of
sick.
paper. Like, what did you do with that piece of paper? How did you get enjoyment from it? You know,
Oh, great take, Josh.
I will take a little bit of a different option. People in the chat, Patricio says best homage is to use it to live the emotions with it, make it eternal with a journal or photos or video. Enjoy life,
that's
live
a good
life.
point.
Emmett says nobody loves a brand new guitar. I was going to go the guitar route, but I also think there's 2 points. So, like, let's say, Will, you had, and you too, Rob. I don't know the legacy cars in South Africa, but like, what is like a vintage car that everyone's like, hey, this is you got to have. Most people rarely drive those. Some people do, and I think that's like a good indicator of like. Usually, if you think about, I want this X car. Most of the time, it's like I want to drive it every now and then.
Right.
Use
like
it a
once
little
month,
bit.
You take it out. Let
It's
the
not your
engine
daily driver.
rev. Yeah.
Yeah, you get just rev it up.
I see.
Yeah.
And so I think of it from what did the original creator, because Rob's question was like, do you pay homage to the creator? And I think that you almost have to think, what can you do to best honor the creator too of that individual thing? Because if they intended for it to be used every day or to like get some grit into it to use it, then I think like you have to. Like if this surfboard was intended to, hey, I built this so you can, crash the gnarliest waves, whatever. I don't know the lingo.
Or surfer talk is, yeah.
Yeah, I've never surfed. I've always wanted to try. But then,
Arizona doesn't have too many waves.
yeah. But then I do know that there are stuff like that maybe other versions of them were intended to be used to be used. But this version is like this is nice. This is just to look at. This is to admire. And so I think it's kind of like a both and. I'm probably more of the thing that I would rarely buy something that was just intended to admire.
Right. You got to have
Usually-
that money. Like you got to have money to buy things to admire.
That's a good point too. I do not have the money. Like for guitars, if I'm not going to buy a $6,000+ guitar and just leave it on the wall.
Right. Rob, you asked the question.
What's
Before
your
I go
answer?
down a tangent that Josh made me think about. I want to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I want to throw a few, mediums and disciplines out there for this.
Okay.
I honestly find it so fascinating. But with the surfboard's a really interesting one. So, wish I could whip out this thing. I don't have it like near me, but this thing's got this big green fin, this single fin. So it's a single fin below the surfboard, and
Okay.
it's so old that they hadn't really invented the leash that ties to your ankle, then to the board. They hadn't really done that yet. So the leash actually goes into the fin. It's like there's a hole in the fin.
Right.
And that's how it stopped the board from floating away. This is how old this thing is. Anyway, so I've surfed it down like, my local spot down here, which has got the softer waves. I've surfed it there a bunch. And I swear, I haven't surfed it once where someone hasn't gone to me in the parking lot and offered money for that thing. It's
Okay.
iconic, but it's iconic where I'm from, and anyway.
Right.
But I've had people go up to me and said, "Hey, dude, you should not be surfing this. Like, you should not be surfing this." So there's that camp. I'm just saying it exists.
I think I
But
get
then
it. I get it.
there's totally the camp which is like, dude, man, what is it like? You actually experiencing design, and you'll love this from industrial design, but it's like this was as good as a board was in that era. It's
that
like
era,
they
yeah.
hadn't put the leash on top of the deck yet. It's like you're feeling the extra drag from the leg rope. It's like it's quite a time warp. And like you're experiencing that. And that shaper, to you guys' point, that shaper did not shape that board to not be surfed. Like that's what he wanted. Okay, but it's like now just say we surf this thing till it's dead. It splinters. Now my kid doesn't have this
Doesn't
board.
get to. Yeah.
He doesn't look at it. It's gone. So I mean, I'm treating this as a very much like I've wrecked the thing. Yes, look after the thing, and it's like it'll last forever. But let's use another example: a drumstick. I'm not saying like I've got a Slayer drumstick in my office. I want to put it on the wall.
Yeah.
And it's like I caught it during the concert, and it was like original Slayer lineup, and it was like this thing's very dear to me. But I don't play drums, but if I did, I mean, Dave Lombardo, the drummer of Slayer at the time, it's like he didn't make the stick. You know, it's a signature stick.
Yep.
But like, do you play this thing until it splinters, or just hang it on the wall?
Yeah.
So there's nuances here, guys. There's
There are
nuances.
definitely nuances, and I think the line is like when it hits like when the functional value is more than the sentimental value, maybe. Like
Yeah, like it.
kind of what you're referring to, the hard decision to make at some point is that like at what point does the idea of the thing matter more than the use of the thing? And like there is a point, and I think there are like a number of factors for that. Like scarcity is one. Like for that surfboard, like what you're talking about is like
Rare,
some people are
rare.
saying, how dare you? Like don't surf on that, because if you break it, like there are not that many, and there's no
Yeah.
way to get more of them. He does not
And
make
they've been looking for them. They've been
Yeah.
looking for them their whole
wow.
lives. And I'm just surfing and putting
That's
wax on
interesting.
it, dirt.
Yeah. So like I get it from that perspective. There's like this like there's like a sentimental line for things that maybe like once that's crossed, there is more value not in using it, but in preserving it. But man, that's a good like mind, like something to travel down.
So that's what I've been thinking of, guys. That's what I've been thinking about.
The tangent that I thought about when Josh was speaking was Josh used the phrase like how did the creator of it intend for it to be used? And we don't we can wrap this one up. Josh, you might have had something to say real quick. But like something I always think about is like as a designer, it doesn't matter how I intended it to be used. How is it getting used is like an interesting path to travel down, because like you can surfboard's not as many options I guess for like how people use it per se, but there's a lot of things where it's like you could have designed it one way and you intended for something to be used a certain way, or like you envisioned it being consumed a certain way, and then people, once it gets in the consumer's hands, like that, how they use it, it doesn't matter how much I want it to be used a certain way. Like it's all about who it's made for, how they want to use it. And I should be paying attention to them as the creator. They should not be caring as much as
Interesting.
like, you know, like
Which
what
is
that
sick.
balance is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point, because that led me in. You segued really nicely into how I wanted to talk to Rob about this. But yeah, well, free comments. What up, nerds? Says
Taylor?
Taylor. Good to see
Taylor's
you.
gonna be at Lyric next week.
Rob, was it a caster by any chance? Says Patricio on code.
No.
Okay.
The board is a Whitmore Magnum.
Whitmore Magnum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Magnum Whitmore.
Yeah. Emmett says if I got like my Whitmore. Okay, perfect. If I got my dad's baseball glove, that's going on the wall. That makes sense. Like it might be different from person to person, or like takedown to takedown. But the thing I wanted to ask you, Rob, like, because this kind of leads into what Will was kind of just saying, is like, okay, there's what the creator made it for to be used for, but then also the creator standpoint of, okay, how are these people actually going to use it? Are they going to use it to be a collectible and on the wall? Okay, I want to make sure that it still is functional, but also like that's its intended purpose. So what does this topic, how does this topic and how you're thinking about it lead into how you're building stuff, you're making things, you're designing things? What is the first thing that comes to mind when you think, hey, I want to be giving something that is both functional, but also maybe a little bit admirationable?
You like, if this is a segue into, you know, just how I was like trying to promote that course, and I actually landed up doing the ebook. It's like,
Okay,
it's
yeah.
it's just that I had this intention, like this was going to be that one thing, but the whole, you know, community and world led me another way. Let's just go there.
Yeah, let's do it.
I
That's what it's all about. We'll follow whatever.
riff for fun.
Riff for fun.
So-
there you go.
So this is many moons ago, and I mean, yeah, I'll try out as much value, like ask as many like deep questions about this, but you know, mental, like I'm at war here trying to ship my first course, and now I shipped this course last year. I was trying to do this 5 years ago, so
Okay.
I was like, cool, it's 2020. I'm gonna finally get this course, you know, out the door. But I have to be accountable. I have to do something out there, you know. So I'm in the public eye. The pressure's on, and so on. So I just said, you know what? I've got so many notes. At the time I had Trello, and I just had all these landing page notes that I had done, collected from building sites, doing audits, doing landing page audits for people and so on. Anyway, so this is like years before the point of this. So I'm talking like 2017, 18, 19. I'm just sitting on this content. And eventually in 2020, I was like, you know what? I'm going to be accountable. In the next 100 days, I'm just going to share 100 little tips. One a day leading up to the launch of my landing page course. That's it. And before I put that out there and before I greenlit this marketing exercise and experiment, it's like I at least had to flesh out a few headlines. I think I had 50. I mean, the story changes every time I tell it, but it's like I had about like 50 headlines, and I knew I could extract little nuggets to do with landing page optimization and so on. It's like, I know the topics. It's like I know I could do this. I can at least do one a day. And back then, Twitter had the constraint of 140 characters.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. 100 tweets, 100 days. And this is when Threads did pretty well and wasn't like absolutely overly abused. And I was like, cool, guys, leading up to my course, 100 tips, 100 days, and then I'm launching my course, the actual course. So I did a really good thing as well, just to step on the side for anyone out there, is that, Twitter's not for everyone. So I thought to myself, damn, what about the people that still want the tips but don't really, or like want Twitter, or maybe they're going to get lost along the way. So I created an email drip, and I did onepagelove/100. Sorry, onepagelove.com/100. And I added that in the first tweet. And I just said, like, hey guys, if you don't want to follow this thread, just sign up. And, today you'll get tip 1 and tomorrow you get tip 2. And also, if you're only picking this up in 50 days, you're still going to get tip 1, and it's just going to carry on 100 drip days.
Yeah.
Anyway, that landed up being a very, very smart thing in hindsight, because the tweet went viral, and every single time, like the 23rd tweet did well.
Yeah, every time you added one.
It just like
people would want to go look at the previous ones, and they'd see the very first tip that said like, "Hey,
it surfaced the first."
Yeah.
So the email drip URL just got resurfaced so many times. Anyway, landed up getting 5,000 signups on the drip from one tweet. In the top. Honestly, guys, this is good Twitter. This was like easier Twitter. I mean, still guys are killing it, but it was different back then. Anyway, so I know I've gone like a massive tangent, but this is the thing, is that the beauty of the constraint of the 140 characters is that I took a topic which was like, hey, try use alternating background colors, in your landing page, so it doesn't seem like one big thing. That's like the most basic tip you can do, but it's a micro tip. And then the next tip would be about testimonials, and it's like, try handpick testimonials from similar people to your target audience, so they feel like, there's so many things. Like I can riff this forever, but nuggets, and because of the constraint, and this is before like ChatGPT now, man, you can literally go like, hey guys, here's my tip, just make it 140 characters. Like I was forced. I was forced to really pull the fluff out and make it good. And I guess in doing that, it also like really ingrained in me. Is that a word?
Yeah.
And it's like I really like got to know the stuff. So anyway, continue. Tip 23 comes in, 24, and people just start messaging me, and they're like, dude, this is great, man. I'm really enjoying this format. It's so easy to digest in this inbox. Like my inbox is so overwhelming, and in comes this email that's 2 sentences. And it's like, dude, have you considered this, and this? Like a Seth Godin, just like 2-liner. You're just like, oh, like that's, if Seth Godin writes more than 20 lines, you're like, oh, I can't read this now, dude. No ways. So people really say, and they're like, Rob, please, can I have all 100 tips? 100. And I was like, dude, I haven't created this thing. By the way, I'm creating a course. I'm doing a course. I'm not doing this.
That's my goal.
I'm not doing this thing. Yeah. It's like, I'm not actually doing this.
For this, yeah.
This, and it was like landing page hot tips. That's how I coined it. And dude, demand more and more and more and more and more. And I was like, oh my, dude, I'm actually not listening to what people want. And I
They're
should
literally
really,
shouting at you, "Hey,
they're
Rob,
literally shouting at me like borderline angry, like come on.
like,
And
okay, that's cool that you want to do that thing, but like, hey."
Like, here's money.
so, because I mean, and also like maybe it's ego, and I don't know. There's probably some deeper,
100%.
yeah, there's ego for sure. But I was like, ebook. I'm here to do a course, dude. You know, like a real course with video and stuff. I'm not doing an ebook. Anyway, so
High
then I was like,
quality, super professional. Like, I'm gonna
yeah,
be one of the best.
exactly. I had dreams, and
Yeah.
I went super meta on it. I mean, most success stories you hear, guys, and there was something meta that happened in that moment. And on the 50th tip, that was halfway through, I did a tip about a pre-sale, and I dropped the pre-sale, going, "Hey."
Cool.
And it also had this ring to it, which was, and this is, I mean, I swear it was John who told me this. Yeah, it was John. I wanted to price the book at $19 because again, I'm selling a course. I don't really care about the book. You know, it's a PDF, and I remember it was always going to be $19. And then John's just like, dude, this is like actual advice. It's, you know, gonna, you know, help people and stuff. You crazy. And I had rapped to John about pricing with Ghost at the time. He's like, just, you know, you don't be afraid to raise the price. Anyway, so I was like, cool, let's just try it. It's always an experiment. So I made it $49. Like just like increased it a bunch. But I said, for the next 30 hours, it's $30 off. So it had this ring to it. It's like 30 and 30, and that's the pre-sale. And dude,
Yeah.
I literally took the full price of 19, inflated it to 49, and then
They didn't know
discounted it to
that.
the
Yeah, yeah.
no, but and I discounted it to the full price. Dude, honestly, I still remember the moment. I was chatting to someone about this recently. It's like that dopamine hit, dude. It was so insane.
We love dopamine.
Because remember,
Nice.
I've got the drip now that's got a lot of people in it.
Yeah.
I've got the Twitter thread that's doing well, and I just dropped this 30 and 30. And dude, the notifications on my phone were like of $19, and I was like, oh my word, this is crazy. Like even my course is doing great now, but it's like there was nothing like that. There was nothing like that. I was just like onto this weird thing. So anyway, at that point, now I'm like, okay, well now I'm right. Now I'm making an ebook. Like now we're doing an ebook. Like this is what we're doing. And it's called the landing page hot tip. So because of the validation and the investment, I was like, I might as well just double down. And then it got really fun because I was like, I see Notion as a thing, and I know like we could actually do a Notion book. Like we could put all the tips into Notion, make it searchable, and I'm also, we should do an audiobook, and we can put the audio in Notion and like make checklists and all this stuff. Dude, so then I was like, okay, use the coupon Notion for a pre-sale. Like there was all these like stepping stones to the launch. And yeah, man, that
also like talk about like a partnership opportunity too, like saying Notion, like, hey Notion, I'm literally selling a product.
Yeah,
through
yeah, no, it
like
it got the
kind of
it got the
audience,
reshares.
you know, like
It got the reshares.
yeah, absolutely.
I landed up doing like Spotify and like all different formats of it. I went to town, dude. Like I just had like it was an open canvas, and that was a rad time, man. That was a rad time. And so, like for me, and I know it's like just on your original point, it's just it's meant to do one thing, landed up being, and the public spoke. And it's like, I bet I leaned in and I capitalized. Like you'll often see like levels, Peter Levels. It's like, remember when he was doing his like his in-flight game or whatever it is called. It's like when he was on the game, dude, that guy just went harder and harder and harder. Like when you're onto something.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm struggling to summarize that thing. But like when you really onto something, it's like just clear out everything and go all in. And it's always pretty much going to be worth it. It laid a lot of runway for me for a very long time, which I'm super thankful for.
There's two things that triggered for me listening to you talk. One is if you had gone heads down and been like, I'm going to crush this course, I need to focus only on this course and nothing else.
Yes.
And you went like radio silent and worked on this really great course and then did, you know, the standard week-long promotion before the course and then dropped the course. This story would be completely different than just deciding. Now you kind of did it as like a accountability. You did it as like some small amount of like long-term marketing, but like just this idea of like publicly doing doing consistent public work, even if it's small,
Yes.
is what like gets you closer to your goal, I think, than anything else. Because if you are shipping small things consistently, then you have a chance to do exactly what you said, which is you have a chance to listen to the people who care. And like that changed a lot of the things that you did, and like the approaches that you took, because you got to hear that feedback along the way. So like that made me think about it, which is like there's two schools of people usually, where it's like, oh, I gotta focus, I gotta do this really awesome thing, so I'm gonna go like radio silent, I'm gonna crush it, it's gonna be awesome. But like you're putting yourself in a bubble, and I think the best work comes through like iteration and feedback. And like the way that you approached it is like one of many really great ways of doing that. And then the other thing that it made me think about is, you mentioned like, oh man, I had to like take my tips, like my large lessons, and condense them, like squeeze them down into like what their most essential point was. And you're like, today you could have just thrown it into Chat GPT. And like, I think you're right. I think you're 100% right that you could have. And I think a lot of people will. But I think that you probably got a lot of value personally from going through each of those and having to condense it. When I've been working on my talk this last bit, one thing that I've been thinking about a lot as part of it is this concept of like friction creates fulfillment. Like friction in your work, having to do tough things and not taking easy ways out, is what creates like not only like professional fulfillment and personal fulfillment, but also like you going through the difficulty of like having to figure something out, even if it's difficult, allows you to like make these connections that is completely unique to you. Like you now have these, like you probably got to tip, I don't know, like 40 something, and you are condensing it down, and you're like, oh man, thinking back to tip 16 and 22, now that I'm like trying to condense this one, like this new like map is forming in your head of like how these things work together, because you had to deeply think and condense the like core concept of each of them.
Nailed it. Exactly.
You know, so it's like those are the two things that like popped up while I was listening, that I'm like, oh, that's the good stuff. Like I love it.
Yeah. I have one observation and then one question to kind of dig into that. Unless you want to switch topics, we're all about riffing.
No. I want to add one more thing after you ask that
go
question.
For it.
Okay, no, okay. So one thing, just quick, is that once I had, gone down the road and listened to all the people, and they were like, hey, I would just reply to them, and I had this direct access to them. And because I had provided the value up front to them for free, it's like they had this feedback loop that was just so, I don't want to say sincere, because they definitely wanted something from me and they were getting it for free up front, but it's like, it was so quick. And anything I asked, I had the leverage to get the feedback. And what I surfaced, like, what do you really love about this? Like, it's such an easy question, but it's difficult to do on Twitter now. Like, hey guys, what do you love about this? Yeah. It's like, dude, once you've delivered 30 tips in 30 days to someone, and you've really like removed the fluff, people would reply and they're like, you know what I really love? It's just like they say snackable. And they used to use these words. And then all of a sudden it's like snackable. And then I start using that into the marketing promo. And I said, guys, get 100 snackable tips. And then all of a sudden it's like starts to sing a little. And anyway, it was a very organic process. But just last one, Josh, before we go there, is that at the time I was doing tutorials for Squarespace. And this is like many moons ago, but I was doing tutorials for them and I had this contract. And this book really like took off. And I still want to do the course, mind you, It's like, now I want to do the course. I've got all these leads and all this stuff. And what happened at the time when it came to the renewal of the Squarespace contract, where I had to do 12 tutorials in 12 months, I had all the leverage. And I was like, guys, I actually can't do this. I got to go all hands on deck. And they're like, Rob, how much you want? How much you need? And I was like,
yeah.
I was like, and I'm bad at this, guys. Don't get me wrong. I'm not even going to pretend I'm good at sales. But it's like, I remember at the time I spoke to a friend who's extremely good at sales. And he's like, dude, you just asked for double. And I was like, no, dude, that's very rude and stuff. I'm South African. It's like, no, you don't. You just do that. And then anyway, I did it, and then they settled like just below that.
Mm.
So it was, and it went into like the
Yeah.
the 6 figures, and you're just like, dude, if I don't do those tips, if I
Yeah.
didn't
Oh,
tease
man.
those tips, I wouldn't have that and that and that and that and that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna ramble, Josh.
No,
You're not on a
good.
ramble.
Because
Good.
that you riffing on that leads perfectly into what I was going to ask anyways. First off, the observation I was thinking is like it's like your story is awesome, but it's crazy how so many people miss those opportunities of like listening to their audience, their their followers feedback loop. Because I think of Adam Wathan with Tailwind, where he was building and streaming this, this I think it was a SaaS project. I think
Yeah,
it was
it was a SaaS
Yeah, it
app of
was.
some kind. Yep.
and people were just commenting of like, "Hey, this, this
How are you
this,
doing that
CSS stuff
What
is
are
like
those
really neat."
utilities you're using?
He's like,
It's
"Stop,
one of the greatest stories.
Stop paying attention to that.
stop
Yeah.
focus on that. I don't want to do the CSS stuff. I want to build a SaaS." And now, Tailwind is
That is
one of,
that is
if not the
true.
biggest CSS framework in the
Beware
world.
sharing publicly, because then you'll have to hear what people actually want versus what you want to be doing. Which
Yeah.
honestly ties right back into what you had mentioned right at the top, Rob, about that we talked about last week, which is like, if you're tying
What do you
money
want?
to something that you have passion about, like,
Yeah.
and you are hearing from people they want something else, you're now in this position of like, but man, I care about this other thing so much, and like I want to, but it's like
And
when
that's
it's
kind of like
business.
the question that I have for you then, Rob, because I think both Will and myself, and probably people who are like listening to this, are probably in the same boat of like, okay, I already know there's like 2 or 3 things that people have asked, hey, you should do more of that. But how did you have and marry this idea of, okay, people are asking for this, I'm going to give them the ebook, but I still want to make the course, but Squarespace is paying me, 6 figures to do this. How did you marry this idea with, this is what people want versus what you want or have to do? I guess that's the question. What do you want to do versus what you have to do? And how did that play into working for yourself in that? Because I think there's so many people, and myself included, where it's like, I know that if I just did these type of videos or if I did this type of content, then I would do pretty well. But at the same time, there's stuff that I want to talk about and maybe like, were you ever, I don't want to be known as just the landing page guy.
Wow. Yeah. Cutting straight into the jungle.
One of those guys.
It's just an easy question for you.
Yeah, shit. So, okay, so you definitely to lead on from what you said last week. So, my belief at the moment is that if you've got sort of a thing you don't love doing, but it pays well, that allows you to be a true creative free bird in the thing you love, that's sort of the right call. Like right now. It's just that when you start monetizing the thing you love, it's like you start to sort of squeeze it a little bit too hard. And you're trying to milk it, and it's like and you start to lose love for that thing. But dude, everything we say here can be argued in a million ways. But it's through my journey, I do feel that, at times when I had all this freedom and I could do a podcast and stuff like this, it's like, if I had the one thing that just helped cover bases, that was like a 2-day week at a job, that was like you didn't love, it was okay, the work was okay, and it's like that allows that security. And, the anxiety, like when you're being creative and you're trying to be creative for the thing you love and you're like, oh my word, I've got flow and stuff, but oh shit, I actually have to monetize and we've just lost 2 days. It's like, it's an emotional roller coaster. And I've had that for so long. And the Squarespace thing at the time, it was good, dude. It was really good. And Squarespace, with One Page Love and like I curate websites, I was creating tutorials and stuff. Like Squarespace aesthetic was high compared to the rest of the builders. Yep. And I really liked how it looked within the stuff I was doing. I really liked working with a team. I was also paid to level up creating videos. I was learning about sound effects and like stuff like this. And I dropped a few tutorials where I really pushed it, and those are the ones where like other creators started following me, like, hey dude, I saw you did this. MDS. I remember him
Yeah.
messaging me. Oh, I sound like so bad like this. Anyway, like whatever, we're riffing. But it's like he's like, dude, this really inspired this thing I did.
Yeah.
What's that called when you say that? I didn't mean. I didn't. I was stealing his success or something. Anyway.
Oh, okay,
No.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's
Everybody's
like
inspired
then
by
we.
everybody else. We get it.
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
started rapping. He started following me. We started rapping and stuff. A lot of good by allowing that to cover my bases, and it helped. It helped. Buy a house and in Cape Town and stuff like that. Anyway, but the question is that when do you allow yourself to truly work on your own stuff and say no to client work? I don't know that answer. Like, I honestly don't know that answer. Like if I lived in America or especially New York, and I had the lifestyle I have now, it's like I would absolutely have to have a job. There's no question about it. I would be working for some brand. It's just that my expenses are pretty low in Cape Town, and it's like we've got our own struggles here, and you'll learn through chatting to a lot of South Africans. Like we really cherish lifestyle, and we live day to day, and like we try and live a outdoor life and so on, and trying to balance that. I have to push for money, and I have to do this, and I have to do this. Like we're definitely on the spectrum of we're gonna enjoy ourselves more.
Right. How close to the line of getting by can I get to still be able to have this part that's very important?
So
I think me and Josh are very similar in that that we prioritize like family and like the type of that type of lifestyle stuff a lot more than making it, so to speak.
Again, it's like chapters. Like I'm 40 now, and it's I got a 2-year-old boy, and my life's very different now. It's like I want to go overseas still with another person, and do all this. And like you can't just do that by like taking creative risks all the time, unless you're like a real top 0.1% artist. But I'm at war mentally every single day. Like, should I do more stable work or should I take risks? But right now I have a balance that pays for a Cape Town lifestyle. Flew to London for Config, going to ValioCon. Things are good.
We'll talk about that at the end.
Yeah, I cannot complain, guys. I cannot complain. But I'm just saying,
I love it.
Very conscious about chasing more money to buy more things. Where right now I have actually arrived and I'm in a good place.
Let's just shout that from the rooftops. I'm going to clip that out and I'm just going to share that like once a month just to myself. I'm just going to rewatch that because I think that is so true. Everything that you just said. One of the two things, one being like having the security to give yourself creative space is such an important thing that people miss, where there is probably a line where you can have that creative space when you have enough money in the project that like you're passionate about, but like that gray space in between, if you I don't know, like it is so easy to like get caught up. I'm running into this with like these conference talks where it's like, man, I want to change this slide, and this slide because I want to just make the design just a little different, a little better in way. Like I know that this could be better, but it's like talks next week and I've not practiced enough. So like
it's like another day.
Right. Like I can't take, more time on this. I've got to just like let it go. But just like doing that with your passion projects, giving the best ideas come when you have the space to try things. And I couldn't agree with that more. And then the other thing with it, which is just like, it's not about money. It's about like, what do you define as your happy, fulfilling life? And like, if you don't have an answer for that yet, then you don't know what you're chasing yet. And you're just going to burn yourself out.
I love it. Yeah. Rob, what's one thing that one thing that you like found recently? It could be a link, it could be like something that you're like a product that you found, or even just like a specific blog post, YouTube video. What's one thing that you found that got you thinking?
Stampfans.com.
Stampfans.com.
All right, I'm going there now.
Okay.
They call it snail mail. They actually legit call it snail mail. This is awesome.
So why I can't stop thinking about this is I feel there's a lot of commentary on where we are as a society right now, and why this idea. Apparently, it's got 600 creators on it. 600 creators have a subscription going for their community to get printed post, to them.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I first saw this and I was like, the first impression I was like, dude, this is so wonderful and like anti tech and anti everything. And like, I probably should lead this into my podcast Easter egg story, but let's first go here. But I shared this to a friend and I really got such a different answer from him. He is like, this is awful. This is everything wrong with the world. They're automating something that should be more sincere. So, I mean,
Okay.
for people listening here, is that, like you can, if you like a creator, is that you can pay, I think it's $7 a month, and then you will get posted a printed out piece of paper from them with a message. So what's great about it is that, with a barrage of notifications and so on, you're actually going to get something in like through the door in your post box, and it's going to be a piece of content that hopefully is totally exclusive, like a story or something from that creator. So there's so much like wonderful, it's analog, it's tangible,
Yeah.
there's a lot of delight here. There's a lot of delight here. But it's like at the end of the day, it is a subscription. It is automated. It is like the creator doesn't totally know who you are.
Yeah.
What do you think, guys?
Yeah, the first thing that I initially think is like this thing, and I've heard a lot of creators kind of riff on this, is the sense of who do I really want paying for? Because like I think there's a lot of fans of creators, and there's probably is like for me, but they're like, hey, I will pay you money to have like more exclusive content or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's some creators who are vehemently opposed to that. Of like, I would just rather have brands or companies pay me because I don't want to take money out of someone's pocket. And I think I'm. This is just gonna sound like a cop-out answer, but I think I'm somewhere in the middle in the sense that I think almost kind of like bringing it back full circle to that initial makers creators intent. Like I think there is stuff that maybe if you, I think you have to listen to what your people want again. It's the sense that I think that there is value in, and maybe it is this interpersonal conflict where you think these people think they have a friendship with you because they think that they know you, and I think that's going to be true to any extent within the internet, where it's like if you have videos or if you have a blog or you have a podcast where people do feel like they know you, and maybe we do know each other to some extent. People who are in the chat right now, like I feel like I know you better than folks who aren't chatting in a lot of ways because we do interact. But I think it's kind of marrying that thought of, this is weird with also, but can I still provide value with it? And so if it's just another cash grab, then I think that's the wrong move. That's the intention of like, hey, I just want to like milk my, my audience for as much money as I can. But if it's from the perspective of, I know that I will never have enough time or money to physically write out letters to people that I want to talk to or just share, like, it reminds me of Christmas notes. My family would always send these like Christmas cards of like, hey, here's a 3-page document of
Oh, really?
everything that we did this
That's
year.
intense. Yeah.
And but it was also nice. Like I never have talked to this person for a year. But now I feel like I know a little bit more about them. And so I'm for it if the creator's intent is to give value and not just to take.
Interesting. I love it. No nuance to it. I like it. I can see how it can be misused, but like every single platform can be misused. I love that there is somebody who is creating like a way to like do something in a different medium, because I think there's just like so many parts of like creativeness and design where it's like another medium than like digital is just so nice. part of me is also just like, I'm not sure what all the process is, but I saw that and I just like immediately thought like, oh, how cool would it be to have like your newsletters literally a monthly like letter to people, like that's just text. And then like I don't know if the service does this, but like the first thing that I thought about with this is like, oh, how fun would it be to do like a newsletter and then be able to like give one to 10 maybe number of your like your subscribers like a random extra thing in it, and only some people
Yeah.
get, like, and it's like maybe
Gold
it's like
ticket.
right, like
Yeah.
like a stamp or like a small illustration or just a sticker or like just something where it's like every month I might be the random person that gets the extra thing in the mail. And I just feel like, oh man, that would be so exciting. Like I would 100% subscribe to like a few different people if I was like, oh man, this might be my month, like, ooh. And like where it's like the newsletter's still good. Like you're getting to keep up with somebody. But like, I don't know if the service supports that, but now I'm like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Like now I want to do that, even if I have to like mail everything myself.
Yeah. Before I hear your thoughts, Rob, the first thing I thought of also was Aaron Francis, friend of the pod. You might be listening to this, or at least listening to this later. I actually told him about this idea. I didn't know about this, but I told him that I think his weekly newsletter is a great thing, and people love signing up for it and seeing, oh, here's the links. I was like, what if you like, did the Aaron Francis do hard things thing and you like printed it out and sent it to people? Then it gets a little, if you have like, okay, are you printing someone else's material and like content and stuff like that? That's a whole nother issue. But
can't
like
really link to a tweet from paper.
Yeah. I think it's valuable. Well, Rob, what do you think? Like, is this be something that you would do?
So just on that is that okay, so I struggle to read, like just making time to read. Interesting to hear when you read, Will, you're saying at night, but one thing that I've been doing, and Jason Cohen, he's this Smart Bear.
Incredible writer. Yeah, absolutely.
Smart so he's formatted his blog that it's printable. Each blog post is printable in a format that if you actually hit print on any post you're reading, it's got proper numbers on the sides, and it's like it turns into a printable guide. Like it's a lovely touch. Not enough people are talking about this. Anyway, so I don't have a printer.
We are now.
But I got my wife to print, a latest or an old blog or whatever, like I'm really interested in. And I now sit with his article away from the computer, and it's like writing on it and I'm making notes. And it's like sort of to your point, but I'm consuming that and absorbing that in 10x than I'm doing anything else online.
Yeah.
Because I'm away from the thing, I'm on a different medium, and yes, the books are the same and so on, but there's something there. I'm just saying there's something there. It's like, why? Now all of a sudden, Jason's saying, I'll give you one extra post a month. I mean, he's goated. It's like, he's like, if he just says, I'll give you one extra post a month, pay me $7 a month, and you get a print in the post.
That no one else has.
It's like, it's like, this is exclusive and this is what everyone wants, So like, there's something there. And you can't throw too much shade on it because it's like he's providing the value. And exactly like you said, I'd love that format. And I'm not the only one out there that just wants to read a printed Jason Cohen, post. It's like, and use a highlighter and stuff. So yeah, there's something there. Anyway, guys, I have to tell you about this, I feel like I'm tooting my horn a bit much now, but
go for it. That's what you're here for.
I've been struggling.
You're the expert.
Let's turn this into a way it's like I've been really, really struggling to create this video. I've been wanting to make this single video, like it's the last video I ever make in my life. And it's called The Greatest $100 I've Ever Spent. And I've hyped it up way too much that I cannot create this video. Like I've scripted it and I've storyboarded it, and it's like I've thought about the music, and like it's like I've never truly actually made a video. Like I've done vlog stuff where I've like climbed the mountain and like cut it in with music and stuff like that. But I'm talking like a story, like proper. Anyway, so I've hyped it up too much. But nice, nice. And it's called the greatest $100 I've ever spent. And what I did once upon a time is when I started the Yo podcast in 2019, I did that as an experiment, and I had never done a podcast, and then I had to do this podcast my way, and it had to have games, it had to like intermissions, it has other guests that chime in and say, hey, you should have a drink of water. It's like I just like yeah, it was my creative outlet, and I think that's why it's done pretty well, and like there's quite a core community of people. Is that like there were no rules, no one's telling me, just do things, guys, just do things. But what I did is that I planted an Easter egg in the outro music. So every episode had a song, and it's a song I was digging, obviously within the license and so on, with Epidemic Sound and all these like platforms. But like it was a beat, so it was like some drum and bass or some something or some trap or something. But 2/3 of the way into this outro, and I would end the show saying, guys, hope you enjoy the show. Hope you have a productive week. And I just play this song. 2/3 of the way in the song, I would just dip the volume and go, hey, if you're still listening, email the secret email address, mypeople@robhope.com. Yeah.
I love that kind of stuff.
I've done this, and I did it not in every podcast. I probably did it like 12 times. And I used to get people writing in, dude. Oh my word. And people would be like, hey, I'm writing in from Germany or something, and then really enjoyed the podcast. And then I would, again, just like the ebook, there's a recurring theme here. But it's like, I would say like, hey, what did you think of this, this, and this? And then the feedback loops there, and it's like, I would ask some questions. And then I would just go to them and say like, hey, I just want to send you something really small.
Yeah.
Can you send me your postal address? So they would send it back. And what I did is I designed a Yo postcard. So I designed one, it just had the Yo on it, and it had like my details at the bottom, very minimal, but like colorful front. And then I would go like one step deeper, and I would always try to find this person. I wouldn't ask, I would like try and find them through their email address or whatever. And then I would check out their projects. And then like for you guys, for example, I would go like, hey, Josh, thanks for listening right to the end of the Adam Wathan podcast. You are my people. All the best with Riff and Refine. I would add that little nugget of what they're working on. And it's like, and then I would be like, take care, chat soon, Rob. And then I would like draw a little wave or something like this. Anyway,
Love that.
And then I would put it, and then I got South African stamps of our big 5 animals. So just be like, lion, leopard, elephant, all that stuff. And I would put that in the top corner, South African stamp. And then I would literally put it in the post box, like leap of faith, dude. Like, honestly, like everything is broken in this place. And my one trusted post box, and months later, I would just get this like email with a photo of the person holding my postcard.
Yes.
Dude, anyway, so this happened a lot. Anyway, so the thing is though, is that funny enough, it worked like this. The printing of the postcards and the stamps cost exactly $100. So the rest was, and there was, so 100 postcards and 100 stamps was $100. Obviously the time was insanity. You must see, guys, I would be like in a dip of cash flow. I would be like, what am I doing this week to like, I need to do this, and I'm writing this postcard, and I'm spending like 25 minutes like researching what this person does. And then it's like, I go and like put in the postcard. And dude, you know how many times this didn't make sense? And
every single time.
I swear to God, like every single time. Anyway, then like people would just send back the photos, and it just got like so wholesome. The thing that I'm announcing next week is to do with someone that I actually met through this entire thing. So there's actually a massive,
that's awesome.
Like, it's crazy, dude. And anyway, some people send me books and gifts, and people are like, can I please buy something for you? Yeah, it's like, it's really wholesome. Anyway, the point being is that I want to create this into a little movie or something. Like, and I've got the footage of all the people with the postcards, dude. And it's like,
absolutely do.
Yeah, but it's like, dude, this thing will never ship. Absolutely never ship. Like,
you want to know how it ships?
Yeah, like cut this
by
cut
shipping
this podcast.
a lot of really small
That's what I was gonna say.
story-driven video where you try to just get better at storytelling in small
Yeah.
ways. And
If
then
there's
at the end-
anything we learned from you in this past hour, I say you should do like you should
14
do like
days,
a post about
14 breakups
to
of the
just
same
share like
story
the
and then
best, yeah,
stitch
like
it.
the best
Yeah.
of the 100. Pick like the top 10 or something, and do like a short story about them. Then that will lead up to like the big reveal where you talk about like why have I been talking about these people?
every dollar that changed my life, 1 out of 100.
Yeah, man, good stuff.
Why are we talking about this? So yeah, it's got the arc and then the background. Yeah, guys, I mean, there's so much to do.
There's always-
But
there's always something, yeah.
there's a lot of ways that I want to wrap this up. Wrap up the story is that it's definitely the greatest $100 I've ever spent. There's so much to say about doing stuff that doesn't scale. It's just such a cliche thing, but it's dude. I didn't even mean to really segue from the stamp thing, but it's like the stamp thing was something I found this week, surfaced the story, but it's like I hand wrote all 100, and it's not sustainable. It's absolutely not sustainable. You cannot. So like every week you have 50 followers, you handwrite. It's like not going to happen. But
yeah.
but there's something there. So like if you are really struggling to cut through the noise now with everyone churning out AI apps on a daily basis, it's like you gotta say what truly doesn't scale, guys. Like what truly doesn't scale, and it's like you probably have to hang out there a little bit, or at least like pay attention to what's not scaling, because that's no one wants to do that.
Right. Yep. Where's the
Suddenly-
friction?
Yeah, where's the friction? So yeah, that's it. So guys, when it's all said and done, hey, like I will look back and I've done some stuff online, done some stuff, and that's
Well,
I think that's the one.
So is the reason you don't want to make it? Do you picture this as like your
Magnum opus.
Yeah, your magnum. Like this is like this. When I publish this video, that is when I'm sunsetting, my like hardcore efforts on like career, and I can kind of like sail off into the sunset. This is the summation of my work.
Or is it the start?
Or is it you're now moving into? I'm done with design. I'm now moving into.
I'm a filmmaker.
I'm a lumberjack.
Speaking.
But like yeah, so maybe I should just do a one take voice of. I mean, let's get emo and deep for a second. I do one take, speak to a camera, and that's the story in case I die. And it's like, then if I die, that gets released. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And then the second one is that
main switch.
if I'm all said and done online, like a startup gets sold, or it's like I'm just over this online noise and I'm going to start woodworking like everyone talks about, it's like that's the time to release it, dude. Yeah, I don't know, dude, but there's something there. Yeah, what about this? Let's go deeper.
It's incredible. Here's the thing. What this story, what you're saying, it could be the same as those little pieces, like in like a completely different form, in the sense that like you released all these like little things and people told you how much they loved it. This one, in another sense, is like the exact opposite. It's like a one single thing, but it's so different from the other stuff that you're doing. But it might be just like literally exactly what people want with all like how the world is now. Who knows? You don't know until you do it. But, Josh, do we need to wrap this up? I don't want.
We I could listen to Rob talk for hours.
Oh, man.
But I guess it's a good segue. We'll segue into what are we doing? What are you planning for next week? Like what's the thing? And maybe so like is it, Rob, that you need to do like the first step for this video next week, or what are you planning? And I guess you could also tease both what you're announcing on Friday. You don't have to tease it, but like you're announcing something on Friday, and you're also talking at the conference that Will was excited about. Vario.
Yes. So I am definitely, dude. See, this is the thing about announcing, guys. It's like, dude, I've contradicted my entire chat today. It's like I really want to announce this thing with a fairly respectable website.
Do it
on my birthday.
Do it.
Absolutely.
And that's
Don't
next
break it
Friday.
now. So next week
Yeah.
we're working on the website to announce this thing. That's all.
See, exactly. But like, dude, life, I swear, man, life is just trying to pull me from all sides. I honestly, like, guys, I mean, you guys know this too, but like, you know, if I have a sick kid and I don't want to make excuses, man. I don't want to make excuses, but it's like, I just need Monday and Tuesday to settle into like, I'm actually doing the thing, and then I'm going to be like, Friday's on. But if like Monday and Tuesday are fucked, then it's like I cannot. I need another week. You guys know this.
Yep.
But like when I did that podcast season, the year podcast season 3, the 8 episodes, like my kid was just born, and I edited most of that stuff like through the night. Like a lot of the interviews were super late in the morning. Like Rasmus Anderson 1 in the morning. Like just because he's on set. Like dude, but my attitude was like there's no option.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing the thing. And I honestly feel if like, I know we're not trying to get any more lessons out of this, but most of the things in my life where I actually progressed or did something cool was when I just said, nah, it's getting done. So here I am already like sort of hesitantly talking about, you know, disasters that haven't even happened on Monday. But dude, like I did 100 tips in 100 days, no matter what. It's like, you know, it's like I know how to do this. I've done the podcast season, dude. It's like guys, next Friday we're shipping.
Putting your reps of making it happen. Yeah. What's one more?
One more. Maybe cull more things, delete more things, take back that cognitive load, cancel more things. Take it back. I need to free up time. Like, dude, like you guys, you always speak about relationship stuff, and I don't often do that in the interviews. But like, you know, with my wife, she's telling me like, "Hey, you didn't swipe the card to get that like $2," and I'm like, dude, I'm taking that convo back. It's like that convo is gone. It's like we talking about shit that matters, and it's like, and that's very much my focus at the moment. Is that I just want to be more like I want more valuable time on everything I'm doing. I like.
Focus. Like when you're doing something, that's the thing you're doing. You're not trying
we're getting
to do 3
gamed,
things
dude. We're getting gamed. Taking it back.
Agreed.
More
Josh,
of that
what
next week.
Yeah, my next week is Laracon. Laracon is my big
Wait,
thing.
what? You're going to
next
Laracon
week.
next week?
Yeah, I'll be there. Surprisingly.
boys.
Yeah, my next week is like the epitome of all the things I've been prepping. Like even like I've done a lot of like personal videos and like even recording some more probably tonight and tomorrow to like just be done. So I'm only focusing on because that's one thing I want to think about is, you know, all the products I have at home for my personal, you know, channel, for like my church stuff, like all I just want it all done so that I can not come back next Friday and be like, oh, I have to now do a week's worth in like a week. And I love that I'm being a little bit more or a little bit less procrastination. Like I think I've gotten into this habit of how can I not just, it's not anymore of let me prepare to be, you know, to get things checked off. Now it's more how can I prepare so that I am not that so that my focus and my energy is where I want it to be next week rather than on feeling like I'm so far behind. So that's my next
I
one.
like it. It's like washing the dishes before you go away for a weekend.
Yes.
Exactly.
There's
Don't
nothing
leave
better
that.
than cleaning the house before you leave on vacation and coming back and it being like,
Yeah, I did.
so true. So true.
What about you, Will?
Oh,
You gonna be anywhere next week?
About Laracon. I'm speaking at Laracon next week. Y'all know that's happening. This week, I got an email from Drew, who is the person who's putting on ValioCon, and he made me give him a title for my talk. And so then I had to start thinking about my next talk that I'm doing in September at ValioCon. I'm really excited about that one. If we're talking about being nervous, it's like each conference that I've signed up for this year, I'm more and more nervous because I feel like the stakes are even higher. So like LambdaConf, it was like I literally know no one. If I mess up, I don't care. Like I want to do good, so I'm going to do good. But like I've got like lower stakes. Laracon, there's a ton of people who are like talented and great, but I'm like buddies with everybody at Laracon. Like I feel like we're all like best friends. So if I mess up, they're gonna give me a hard time, but I don't feel like bad about it. But it's like I do want to do a good job. And then ValioCon, this is like the heroes conference. Like, I don't know how I got up on this speaker list. I just DM'd Drew one day and was like, hey, you just announced this thing. It looks awesome. Here's this talk idea I had if you're looking for somebody else. And he was like, you're in. And I was like, what?
Drew's so cool like that.
So I was just like, okay. And like, we're talking like Rob is one of the speakers. Heaton Shaw is one of the speakers. Dan Petty's one of the speakers. Like huge names throughout my career as like somebody who loves like digital products and design. So it's just like, man, I'm like,
I can't wait.
I got to show up. And I just can't wait to hang out with all of these great people too. So
you said you did one talk before? Like have
just
you
one,
even
yeah.
one?
In,
So and your talk
March.
next week, what's the topic?
Next week is a framework for ambitious projects.
And you're recalling something you've done, right?
Yes.
Yeah, dude,
I'm
honestly, like,
demoing something that I did for the conference. Yeah.
it's for me, like I've given, these talks, and as soon as you steer away into a land of like, you're not totally sure, or you haven't done that actual thing, it's like your nerves will just go 10x. So for me, I just recall what I've seen or done and just stay true to that, and like you're gonna be fine, dude. ValorCon, man. Wow.
It's gonna be nice. It's on the
Excited.
beach in California at a resort.
I've even been to America.
And that's why I saw
Wait,
your
you've
blog
been?
post. That's your first time to America, is it going to be, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be so fun. I can't
That's
wait.
crazy.
Wow.
So here's my challenge for you then, Rob. The video
Yeah.
should be released before you go to ValioCon.
The 100. Oof.
Yeah.
So announce.
And I guess
the
like
thing.
to bring it full circle, Emmett says, "Is this your surfboard? Is the video your surfboard?"
Is that what he meant by the surfboard? Okay, I was wondering.
Oh,
Like
man.
you brought that up and you got it, Josh.
That's so
That's
deep.
a great topic roundup.
So before ValorCon, obviously get the talk waxed, announce the thing,
Yeah.
and release the video.
Oh, that'd
Possible.
be a great ValioCon.
Well,
Possible.
I'm excited. I can't wait to. I'm sure after I get through Laracon, I'll be talking more about what I'm going to do for my talk for ValioCon. But I'm excited. This has been a great chat with Rob.
This has
Thank you
been
so much
awesome.
for
Thank you, guys.
hopping on
Yeah.
here with us.
Do I have to nominate someone?
Yeah.
You can both nominate someone and then also do like some kind of plug. Where can people find you, or just like what's the best way for what's one leading trailing thought that you would like people to take from our conversation?
Yeah, how can you break down the thing that's the behemoth that you're trying to get out the door? How can you break it down into smaller pieces and just, and I'm not saying like work in public and where it's scrappy and like stuff like that. It's like you can still take a good thing and just divide it up into smaller things. And it's like, just try get that validation out. I think that's like everyone's homework out there, including myself. But the plug, no plug. The spend less time online, and yeah, just be like, don't try and be friends with everyone. Your friends are probably the people you know already, and you should spend more time with them.
I love that.
You're probably neglecting them to impress people online that don't matter as much. So yeah, guys, I just on a total like ramble because you asked me to plug. But Aaron Francis, like, dude, I don't really.
For you, follow Rob on
Yeah.
Twitter, on X at Rob Hope, and then next Friday he's launching something. So check it out.
Yeah,
That's the
check it out. I chat to Aaron Francis, like we just chat a little bit. I don't know him at all. I'd love to meet him, but I feel like if you guys know him, he'd be the perfect guest, and I'd love to hear him talk about creating the perfect engaging talk. Like how do you do that? I think that'd be great content, guys.
I already see so many ways that would riff. So Aaron, you heard it. You're on the hook. You're coming on the podcast.
Let's do it.
A show. We don't call it a podcast. What am I doing? It's a show. It's a live show, everybody. All right.
The show.
This show has gone on too long. It's been fun. Thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out with us and Rob. Thank you, Rob, for jumping on the mic with us. I hope
Cheers.
everybody has a good weekend.
Happy Friday.
Peace.